Some of the sights and sounds of what took place at the Canadian Parliament building earlier today. Joining us now, Ralph Peters, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and best-selling author. Welcome, Ralph. Of course, Fox News Chief Strategic Analyst. Hello, Ralph. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing fine. Obviously, my sympathy goes out to our Canadian brethren north of the border. I do have to observe, though, that clip you played, and I've seen the film. It's some pretty undisciplined shooting. It sounds like at least some of those guards weren't really fully trained about how to respond with firearms in a closed space. But that's nitpicking. The bottom line here is that Canada. This is, at the risk of exaggeration, I'm talking symbolically, assuming this does turn out to be Islamist terrorism, this isn't really Canada's 9/11, in the sense that it's their wake-up call. Canada, they're great folks with great capabilities, very brave, but they've been sleepwalking to a degree. I know our U.S. counterterrorism elements have sometimes felt that the Canadians just didn't take the threat seriously enough. Now, cooperation between our countries has been terrific, but we've had our disagreements, and they've found us heavy-handed. We found them, a little bit light of touch sometimes. And the Canadians have been very proud of the fact that they're not a militarized society, that they're very peaceful. But unfortunately, global jihad, whether this turns out to be an Al-Qaeda or Islamic State plot or just homegrown jihadi crazies, the point is jihad, fanatical jihad, has global reach. It is a global threat. And the most dangerous aspect for all of us of the shooting today was that it shows how much damage one or perhaps two or three gunmen can do. I mean, they shut down the capital of Canada. They're dead and wounded. We don't have, we still have to wait till all the final analysis comes in and the final numbers. But again, this is, even if we find out there was only one gunman and he's dead, and we'll wait and see. Steve, this was an important symbolic victory for the jihadis. Even though the gunman in the Parliament building was not able to reach the caucus rooms and slaughter legislators, parliamentarians, which is what he seems to have wanted to do, nonetheless, he was able to get inside Parliament, shoot things up, and it's that symbolic drama, the symbolic achievements, more than the practical ones, that are great morale boosters for jihadis, whether in the Middle East or in North America, and great recruiting tools.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And, when the U.S. Embassy in Canada there in Ottawa is on lockdown, and then the Canadian Embassy in D.C. is on lockdown, and you're right, this could be one, two, a couple of gunmen, lone wolves as they call them. It just shows what a threat we're under. And if this, if this was a heat, if this turns out to be, these guys responded to ISIS's call, then, then when and where is it going to happen here?
Yeah, well, here, there, I mean, we're all one. And that's the one thing so many people, so many countries don't understand in our Western civilization, is that we are all one in this. And I think, some Canadians perhaps thought they'd be safe because, well, after all, they're not the U.S., they're not the great Satan. But we're all the great Satan to the jihadis. Even many of their fellow Muslims are Satans. So this fanatical sort of Islamist Puritan maniacal take on religion threatens everybody. But the other thing we fail to understand, Steve, whether it's north or south of the St. Lawrence Seaway, we just still fail to appreciate the appeal of jihad to young, disaffected Muslims. And in the United States and Canada, Muslims have Muslim immigrants or native-born Muslims have greater opportunities than they have in any country in the entire Middle East. They have greater opportunities than they have in any European country. But in any society, there are winners and losers. And, if you get young punks who are just disaffected, or, as is often the case, native-born Christian crazies who convert to Islam because they're just seeking a cause, they can just do tremendous damage, and it gives them a purpose in life.
Yeah. Right.
And we try to put Ivy League graduates in charge of persuading these people that jihad is.
I know, and that's the worst possible scenario. Ralph, I'm up against a hard break, but listen, my friend, always great to talk to you. Thank you for your insight as always.
Great to speak with you.
Ralph Peters, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back. Go away.